Hey guys, in this video it's going to be kind of a short video because it's just going to be the benchmarks for the grandfather that I built. But to start things off with, on the video card I got a 100 megahertz boost, and I got it to about, I think it was 40 megahertz, maybe a little less, give or take 10 megahertz, but it was about there on the overclock. And then on the memory it was about 525 megahertz boost on that. And then I never really saw it go above 50 degrees Celsius on the video card, so the AIO was working perfectly. It was great. It was super quiet. And then for the next numbers, when I ran ROG Realbench on image editing, it got a score of 205,393 in 24.772 seconds. On encoding, it got 185,440, and it did that in 51.704 seconds. OpenCL was 122,999, and then heavy multitasking was 153,640, and then the system score was 142,268. Alright, moving on to the CPU, I was able to do about a 300 megahertz overclock on it, so 4.8 gigahertz, which is pretty good. The chip itself could have gone a lot higher. I think I got it to see about 5.1, maybe even 5.2 gigahertz, but at that point it was just way too hot in the room for the Kraken to really cool the CPU enough to really make that work. So I had to turn it down to 4.8 like I mentioned, and I wasn't using very much voltage to hold it at 4.8 gigahertz. It was like 1.345 or 1.35, something like that. So it was a little bit, but it wasn't too much. It ran flawlessly. It was it ran hot, and I could have pushed it a little further to 4.9 gigahertz, but honestly, just at 4.9, it pretty much instantly flipped up to 90 degrees Celsius as soon as we started running it at 100%, so it just wasn't worth it. So I tuned it down to 4.8, ran great. It ran a little hot at like 80, 81 degrees Celsius, but I'm comfortable with that. It's not too hot. I mean, it is a little warm, but honestly, it's rarely going to be running at 100%, so that's really going to be a non-issue. So the biggest problem that I was running into in that room was just how hot it was. It was always at 29 degrees Celsius, if not a little bit warmer. So, I mean, the ambient temperature in the room was already really hot. So, I mean, there's only so much cooling can do. It can't bring it down below the temperature of the room. So, what do? But now that we've talked about the overclocking, both the video card and the CPU, let's go ahead and move on to the gaming benchmark, since I'm sure that's the only reason you're here. So just to explain the benchmarks a little bit, all settings were the absolute max unless specified in the title. If you want to see the exact settings for GTA, check in the description below. And then just to explain what I did a little bit, the first numbers were I didn't touch anything with the video card. It's just as if you had plugged it in and then started playing the game. The second is when I used the overclocking utility to adjust the power and temperature limits all the way to the max. So I think it was a 90 degree temperature limit and then 120% power limit. And then finally, that was with the actual overclock. Then I can't explain this, I don't know, it's really weird, but for whatever reason, increasing the temperature and the power limit hurt most games' frames, but in GTA, it actually really helped it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Like I said, it's weird, but there it is, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, go ahead and smash that like button below. If you want to see more of my stuff coming up, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.